everyone. My name is Monica Suyo. I'm the Director of Recruitment and Community Engagement of Cristo Rey OKC. Welcome to another episode of our Royal Reality Podcast. Today, I'm so excited because we are going to be talking to our students, but this time the topic is conversations with our royal athletes. So this time I have here a mega star. Let's start with Nicole Salas. Welcome, Nicole. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. This is a new experience for me.
I bet. But let me tell you, a lot of our students been asking that they want to be part of the podcast. And I don't blame them because I think that everything that we do for you guys. So I'm very happy that you're here. So you can tell us a little bit more about you and the sports that you practice. And of course, about all the awards and recognitions that you got. So you are a senior this year?
Yes, I'm a senior.
How long you been with Cristo Rey?
Since freshman year, 2020.
Oh, wow. So can you tell us a little bit how was your experience as a Cristo Rey student? That you can remember how it was to be a freshman and how, everything that you did from freshman year until now regarding academics or any clubs that
Anything?
Yes.
Since freshman year was during COVID, we really didn't have any social interactions. So it's just through the screen. And then I feel like that made people really antisocial. So
yeah,
when
it's very hard.
When we got to school, everybody was so quiet.
I bet. So you guys didn't work the first year?
No, we didn't.
Okay. So what about your sophomore year? Did it change? Did it go better?
We actually got to work sophomore year, but then it was something I had to get used to because we didn't have that freshman year.
The freshman year experience. So let me explain a little bit to our families. If you're a new family or you're thinking about joining Cristo Rey, we offer the corporate work study program. What it means that our students go to work 1 day a week, 4 times during the month, actually 5 times during the month because they rotate every Friday and they get the experience about the real world, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about your work since you said that sophomore year, was kind of like your freshman year. Mm-hmm. So how was everything? Like in your sophomore year, what was your first job?
My first job was actually Clemens Foods. So I was just helping around the office. I was doing the freight numbers. They do the condiments and stuff.
Yes,
so they ketchup and basically the stuff you put on hamburgers, hot dogs, anything like that.
Okay.
And so I had to do the freight numbers, anything Excel. I had to make graphs. And then sometimes they would take me into the testing lab to actually calculate how much is in every bottle.
Wow. So what did you learn from that first year?
Just to keep showing up. Even though I didn't like going there, it was an experience that taught me a lot.
Okay. Yes. And I know that it's hard, like you said, in your sophomore year was your first time working. So it was basically like a freshman start. And I heard a lot from our students that the first year is a little tough because you don't go exactly to the place that you would like to. It's more mainly to explore what is the different areas that you would like to work and maybe help you to decide also about your career. So what about the other 2 years? And including this one about your jobs? Junior
year, I got to work at Love's, which was actually pretty interesting. Because they put me in a different department. It was loss prevention. So I had to check the security cameras, had to write reports and everything. And then I had to have small meetings with my supervisor, discussing what I found on the cameras.
That was quite interesting. Mm-hmm. And and something that I want to tell everyone that is watching this episode is that our students are treated like another worker, correct? Mm-hmm. They don't treat the students like the students. Or the student workers or student interns, they treat you like another employee.
It's sometimes weird because you hear conversations of adults, adult conversations, but then they're still mindful that you're still a teenager, so they try to keep it clean around you. So it's pretty funny sometimes.
Okay, and what about this year?
This year, I work at Cristo Rey.
How cool. That's true. Can you tell a little bit about what do you do? I don't want to say, exactly how amazing you are, but can you tell about your responsibilities?
So I work with the finance director, Miss Lola. Mm-hmm. So I help with anything that has to do with balances, the checks sometimes. And then sometimes I'm just sitting in the office helping.
In the front desk. Mm-hmm. That's how what I saw you. Mm-hmm. So I honestly, my mistake, I thought that you were in the front desk, but now I know that you do an additional job, what is very important, working and assisting our finance director. So you already have these different type of works or job types. What is your career goals? What are you planning to do after, this year?
To be honest, it's TBD, to be determined. But I was thinking nutrition.
Okay, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's related to your first job.
It's not.
But it's quite interesting that you want nutrition. Mm-hmm. That's so good. So how many schools did you already apply? How many college?
I applied to 14 or 15.
Okay.
And I've gotten responses from like 7 or 8.
How many acceptance?
7 or 8.
Congratulations. You see, I told you this is a mega star who I have here today. Even though she don't want to say that she's a star, but I think that all of our students at Cristo Rey are a star because I know that it's required to apply to 10 college. Mm-hmm. So you already, fulfill that requirement and you're already being accepted to 7 or 8. Yeah. I know that you say TBD because it's coming decision date soon during this semester and you will let us know what school you're going, right? Yeah. Or you're going to share with us today or not yet?
I actually don't know. I'm indecisive right now.
Okay. Well, you have time. The good thing is that you have options. And like every time that I tell the students, it's good to have options so you can be selective. And then you can compare also college and see who offer the best, and especially regarding scholarships or any other opportunities that you're looking for your career. Sure. Well, Nicole, now, can you tell us what sports have you played at Cristo Rey?
At Cristo Rey?
From your first year till now? Everything.
Freshman year, just volleyball.
Just volleyball. So you love volleyball?
Yeah, I've been playing it since 5th grade.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit how it started your passion or your love for volleyball when you were little in elementary or middle school?
It's random, to be honest, because I remember just seeing a video about volleyball. Uh-huh. And then since I was new to my middle school at the time, they had a volleyball team. They're like, hey, do you want to join? And I was just like, yeah, you never know. I might like it.
That's true. Yeah. And I love that about you because you try it. Not every teenager will go ahead and say, okay, let me do it. Yeah. I think that sometimes as teenagers, we forget that there are opportunities out there and we don't take advantage of them. So which school did you go for middle school?
I went to Rosary Catholic School.
Okay. So you are very familiar with the Catholic schools. Mm-hmm. Did you feel any different between Rosary and Cristo Rey?
The diversity, a lot. In Rosary, it was mainly just like white people, like 1 or 2 other minorities. But I feel like in Cristo Rey, it's mainly Hispanics.
So the majority, that's true. The majority of our students are Hispanics and the diversity, it's different. And I feel that even though our minority are maybe the Asian community or the white American community, I still feel that we have representations, at least of every different communities. And of course, we're trying to expand, the diversity in our school culture as well. So you like volleyball. How has been this year with volleyball? Do you feel that you got better over the years? What exactly do you like about volleyball? And can you tell us a little bit about all the awards that you got this year?
So I got selected for the All-Team Conference Award. So it's basically, well, I think this is what it means. Like other teams choose who the most MVP player was out of the season.
Look at you, an MVP, okay, for the season. And that award was just this year, or did you got it in the previous years?
It's every year, but I just got it this year.
This year. Okay. So now my next question is can you share an incredible experience from a game or competition or any time that you play? That's something that you remember that is very exciting.
Does that have to be from high school?
Yes.
Just the tournaments in general.
What do you like about them?
That you actually get to keep playing instead of just one game at a time. Because then if you just play one game, it's like, what if that was just your warm-up game and you do better in the next one?
That's true. That's true. So explain us for those people that I know that it's, sports wise, like me, I watch volleyball, but I don't practice any sports, I think that I can say that I love and enjoy watching sports like volleyball, basketball, Soccer is one of my passions, but I don't play sports. So for those people that don't know about volleyball so much, what is the length of the tournaments? Is it one day, a whole weekend, and how many teams normally compete?
It can be over 10 teams. The length of the games is first to 25 for 2 sets, and then if you tie, then you go to a third set for 15.
Okay, so since your first year, Cristo Rey was part of different tournaments?
Freshman year, I think, no. Sophomore year.
Since then, you were part of different tournaments.
Yeah.
Anything special that you would like to share?
Not that I remember, but it's pretty fun playing with different grades, because it doesn't matter what grade you're in, you might be better or worse than somebody else.
Okay, and what kind of schools do you compete against?
Other schools in our district.
Part of like the district, Catholic schools. Okay, and they are bigger school than ours, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my next question will be: what kind of challenge or setbacks do you have in academics in athletics, and then how do you handle them? Because I know that sometimes it is hard to be just a regular student at Cristo Rey because of the rigorous curriculum that we have. But now you are adding, to that being an athlete. So can you explain any of the challenges that you have between academics and, and trying to balance with athletics?
I feel like the biggest struggle for me was balancing my homework and still being able to play, because you had to keep your grades up to be eligible to play.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, it was like, okay, I need to get good grades so I can play. But then I would have work, school, and games at the same, within the season. So it was just hard balancing work.
Okay, yeah, I bet that it was hard. And then, like you said, the good thing is that you keep yourself eligible, and then you keep working and trying to balance, like you say, homework, work, and also your athletics. And when you say work, do you mean like the corporate work study, or do you work outside of the school?
Both.
Okay. Yes, I understand that. And then how many seasons are in volleyball? It's only one season, or
just one season?
One season
for the year.
Okay. Can you let us know what is when it starts the season and when it ends?
To be honest, I never kept track of it. I think it's like somewhere the beginning of August to the end of October.
Okay, that makes sense for fall semester.
Yeah.
Now in the spring, since you don't have volleyball, are you planning to join any other sports or not this time?
I was thinking about it. I was thinking tennis, but I suck at tennis. I mean, there's a start for everything. But then I was also thinking rowing.
Yeah, and for those people that don't know about the sports that we offer here at Cristo Rey, we have, like Nicole say, rowing and tennis. We have every other sport except for American football. And I just, want to be clear that. And we have cross country, and the next person that I'm going to interview is a cross country player, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm glad that you're here and telling us a little bit about volleyball. And now, how do you think being a student and athlete influenced your personal growth?
I feel like you get to know different perspectives on when you actually play with people, because you get frustrated at them, they get frustrated at you. You have different personalities and ways of communicating. And sometimes if you don't have that communication, it's like you assume things out of somebody else.
That's true. I imagine it must be hard to work as a team, and especially in volleyball, or like any sport where it's crucial that the whole team be in tune, right?
Yeah.
In a good communication with everyone, like you said. What about when the competitive aspect? Did that help you in your personal level?
I think so. Majority of the time, it was just like helping other people out. Where it was like, if you can't get it, let me know so I can try and help you.
That's good. Did you get nervous every time that you have a tournament or a big game?
I mean, yeah, because you never know who you're up against. So they might have like tricks up their sleeve or something.
That's true. So what do you do to calm your nerves?
To be honest, I just see how the first ball goes. And then if it's bad after that, then I'm just like, okay, we'll see how the next one is. And then just hoping it gets better after that one.
And, and that's good. And that's good because there is two things that you just say. First, is just taking it easy. Let's see how it goes. At least allowing yourself to enjoy the game. And the second thing that you just said is like, let's see how it goes. Being a good observer and especially about, the team that you're playing against with. My next question is like, what role do teamwork and collaboration play in your sport? How important is that teamwork and collaboration in volleyball?
So communication, like you just have to understand each other to get the point. Say if you're like struggling, like they keep taking points from you or something. You can just be like, okay, let's come up with this strategy so you can make something work out.
And that involve everybody in the team making that decision or just the coach and the captain?
That's everybody, because then you have to get everybody on board. Because if one person doesn't understand, then they're going to be blocking another person or something.
Okay. Do you remember any game where all of you were lost? And even though you came up with the best communication plan, it didn't work?
Yes. I think it was like one of our very first games. We didn't understand the rotation or something like that. And then everybody was just confused. And we kept getting called on because we were out of rotation. So it's just like giving up points.
Right. And then what did you guys did at the end? Like, how do you fix that problem?
We just kept going. We slowly started getting the hang of it. So it's just like, okay, you go here and I go behind you.
Okay. Like that. I didn't ask you what was your position or what are your skills on the team?
I was setter.
Okay. Do you like that?
It was very challenging.
Why it was challenging?
Because setter always gets second ball. So after the first pass, anywhere that ball goes, you have to communicate with your team to see if you need help getting that ball or else you have to go get it.
That sounds very challenging. That's something that I won't do it. Let me tell you. So in the previous years, since you've been playing volleyball, did you were in a different position or always a setter?
In middle school, I was DS, so I would always be passing the balls. I really didn't like being in the front because I felt like I wasn't confident enough to hit the ball over, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So now you prefer what position do you prefer? That you feel comfortable and that you feel that you have a good, skills for that?
I think defense, like just passing the ball.
Defense. That's good. What do you enjoy about defense? Because I know that the word itself say a lot, but what do you enjoy about part of defense?
You have to think of a lot of stuff. You have to think about like where the ball's gonna end up because you never know.
Man, that says a lot, because I feel sometimes that people miss that being an athlete, it helps you a lot in your personal development because like you said, communication is important. Defense, being a good observer, you have to read, the plays of your competitor. You have to be also in tune with everybody. You have to be alert. So all that, believe me, it helps you, in your daily life. Yeah. If you didn't think about it, but that's what I appreciate a lot about sports. Because even though here Miss Monica never plays sports, I think I just did swimming. I think that sometimes we forget about the importance of sports in the schools. And especially on you in middle school. Do you have a good memory about middle school? Because I don't know. I feel that I asked you the first question and you say me in high school. You're talking about if I have an incredible memory or do you have one to share from middle school?
No, it was just the people that I played with.
What do you enjoy about that?
Because everybody was good at their own skill set. Because everybody already had a position that they were playing in. So it's just going with the flow.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good that, you have good memories from sports as well as having good memories, I hope, from academics. So let's keep going in our conversation. How do you think sports in a school like ours, we are in a small community, contribute to the whole school community?
Well, I think that being a part of teams, sometimes you really don't know other people from different grades.
Yep.
And sometimes when you join a sport, you talk to the people that you think you wouldn't be talking to. So it's like you get to know people for a season and then you might be best friends after that. You might say hey in the hallways here and there, but you get to know people.
And like you said, it also, like you get to know other people from a different grade level. Mm-hmm. But I think that also bring this excitement to the school. Do you feel that when we have basketball games or volleyball, do you feel that the whole school spirit, gets better overall?
I think so. I feel like at the beginning of seasons, it's just like, okay, they're just starting off. But as more support is shown, I feel like the more confidence you get.
That too. And, like I said, this is my first year in Cristo Rey. I have seen some students get excited to get to go to the game just to support. Mm-hmm. I see that teachers also get excited when, we get the scores from the games, just to hear from different sports. And also what I love is about you athletes showing your spirit with hoodies or your jersey, and then just seeing you in yearbook, like with your different pictures. I think that helps a lot to our school. And like I said, we're a small community, so you get to know everybody. You can change your sports, like you said, this spring you can take tennis or rowing. And I think that that's the advantage. I don't know if you agree with what I'm going to say, but one of our student ambassadors one day said to one of our school visits that you are in a small community, that you have the opportunity to play different sports and be selected to actually being in the court, you do volleyball or being in the game. Different when you're in a huge school district, you may not be always selected or you be in the bench. What do you think?
I think that's true, because being in a smaller school like ours, it's very, I'm not going to say competitive, or selective. It's just that they give you the opportunity to try something new.
Yep. And that's what I heard from our student ambassador. And I was like, man, that made me think about it, because, we were having a school for Norman, and they also may think to them like, okay, if I go to Norman North or Norman High, where it's a huge population, I may not be selected ever to play first, to be part of the team, because there are going to be other maybe competitors or better than me. And two, I may be on the bench.
Yeah.
If we have a huge team. How many team members do you have in the volleyball team?
I think around 8 or 9.
Okay. So everybody have the chance to play.
Yeah.
So that's good, and I think that that's something that sometimes other students forget about our school. I know that I always tell them it's true. We're not big in sports in the sense that we are on the top charts of every sport. However, our students have the opportunity to be part of a team, to develop skills in a sport, in a specific sport, and just enjoy, the community of Cristo Rey. And I think that's important. So now let's talk about something different now. What is your vision now that you're a senior? What did you see for our school in the next 3 to 5 years?
I hope there's a lot of growth. Like, Cristo Rey has a lot to offer. Even though, I hear some students, they be like, oh, I have to go to school, I have to do this. But in reality, they're giving you experience that you're going to need in the future.
Yes, and I'm assuming that you mean by the college counseling experience, by the corporate work study experience, and just being part of different clubs. Do you belong to any student club?
HSA, the Hispanic
Student Association. Any other clubs that you belong in the previous year? Clubs, that you belong before.
I think NHS, National Honor Society, and the retreat committees.
That's very interesting, and I think important to be part of the retreat committees, because you are behind the scenes of every retreat, and you guys can add that fun part or aspect of the retreats. And tell me, how do you qualify for being in the National Honor Society, for those families or students that don't know?
It's about your skill set and your GPA. So I think it has to be a 3.7 or higher.
A 3.7 or higher. Okay. That's very nice, and that says a lot about you. So like I said, I'm here seated with a mega star because you're good at athletes. You're a good athlete, You know how to balance school, work, and your sports. And now you're telling me that you were part of the National Honor Society. That means that you have good grades. You have to keep up the good grades to be eligible. Yeah. And you also work outside of the school. You already apply for different college. Well, congratulations, Nicole. I'm pretty sure that your future will be bright, and I'm sure that you will apply everything you learn at Cristo Rey, in the sport of volleyball, and also what you learn in every day being in the classroom, and you will apply that to your life. Sometimes I think when I was a teenager, I didn't want to listen sometimes to adults, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes we forget that they are there for us, and that they can help us, they can give us an advice, and whatever you learn, even if it's very minimum, you can apply that for your future. Like when you are in a game, whatever you see, or how is your competitor, or how is your head coach, or what they're telling you, you can translate all that to your life, and you can be a better problem solver. So just don't forget that. And also try to be very selective now that you're going to college. Enjoy it. Continue being that Nicole that you just told me, that you're like very laid back. You like to observe, right?
Yeah.
See what's happening, and just make sure that you enjoy your college experience. And I'm so, I'm looking forward to hear more from you when you're in college. But before we go, I want that you look to the cameras, and what would you recommend someone to come to Cristo Rey?
Why?
Yes. Just look at them.
Where do I start?
Yes, go ahead.
I think the main part is the CWSP program.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, me getting a job, they interviewed me. They're like, do you know how to do this? Are you experienced in this? And I would have to tell them no, because I didn't have that experience before. And now that I'm actually working in CWSP, I get to work on computers, Excel. I know how to do payroll, anything. So I'm qualified for an office job. And that's sometimes hard for people straight out of high school to get. So I think that's pretty good.
That's why you encourage everyone to be part of Cristo Rey. And what you just said is amazing. I think that sometimes families forget that being part of a school is not only to just, take tests, move on to the next grade level. It's also to get ready for the real world. And I think that that's very good at Cristo Rey. We do a good job in that aspect, because we offer you guys the experience to go to work once a week and get all those professional skills that you can apply later on when you are ready for the corporate world, or for any type of job. Or like you say right now, you can go anywhere. And just to encourage those families, if you're interested in being part of Cristo Rey, please don't forget to check our website. Check also our social media. We have open house coming up. We also offer shuttle days. We offer private school tours. So don't hesitate to just contact any of us in the school and schedule one of those visits, or just stop by and, ask any questions regarding our admission process. Thank you, Nicole, for giving us this opportunity to know you a little bit more. To also for giving the opportunity to our families and students to know about Cristo Rey, the sports life, and also how it's being a student from your own perspective.
Well, thank you for having me. I wasn't expecting coming on the podcast. It was kind of like a last minute intrusive thought.
That's okay, Nicole. That happened. Like, let me tell you, I have freshman students that asked me the other day, can we be part of the podcast? And I say, maybe at the end of the year, because I feel that it is important for potential families and prospect students to hear from you guys. I can speak hours about the benefits of Cristo Rey and the amazing job that all the adults and all the staff members do for the students. But I think that when they hear from you guys, it is different. The impact is in a different level. Thank you again. So, with this last sentence, I want to say goodbye. Thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget to watch this episode either through our YouTube channel or through our website. And if you want to know any more updates of Cristo Rey OKC, don't forget to check our social media and our website as well. My name is Monica Suyo, and I hope to see you the next time in our Royal Reality Podcast. Bye.